She doesn't blink, she doesn't move, and yet, every single time you look away, she's somewhere else. Locked in a case of reinforced glass, guarded by a sign that reads, "Do not open," sits a doll so dangerous that a Catholic priest once said touching her could cost you your life. Her name is Annabelle, and before Hollywood ever put her in a movie, she was already real, already killing careers, wrecking cars, and according to the men who caged her, trying to take a human soul. Stay to the end, because the part almost nobody talks about is the part where the doll wins. It's 1970. A mother walks into a second-hand shop looking for a small gift for her daughter, Donna, a college student sharing a cramped apartment with her roommate Angie. She finds a Raggedy Ann doll, faded, ordinary, cheap. She has no idea what she's about to hand her daughter. At first, nothing. The doll sits on Donna's bed like any other decoration. But small things start slipping, the kind of small you explain away without thinking twice. You left for class. The doll was on the bed. You come home. The doll is on the couch. Nobody remembers moving her. Nobody admits to it. And neither Donna nor Angie think much of it at first. Weeks pass, and small stops being the right word. The doll isn't just shifting position anymore. She's crossing rooms, changing posture, showing up somewhere neither of them left her. There's a third person in this story who notices before anyone else, Lou, a close friend who visits constantly. From the very first time he sees the doll, something in him recoils. He can't explain it. He just knows this thing is wrong. Donna and Angie brush it off. There has to be a logical explanation. People misplace things. Roommates forget, right? Then the notes start. Scraps of parchment paper begin appearing around the apartment. Paper that doesn't exist anywhere in that home. Messages scrawled across them again and again. Help us. Help Lou. No one bought parchment paper. No one owns parchment paper. So where's it coming from? One night, Donna walks into her bedroom and stops cold. Annabelle is sitting exactly where she left her, except now there's blood, smeared across the doll's hands, small and drying, like it's been there a while. To this day, no one can say for certain whether it was real blood or something else entirely, something that simply looked like it was seeping out of the fabric itself. But by that point, it didn't matter what it was. It mattered what it meant. Something was using this doll, and it wasn't finished. Rattled, the girls finally agree to bring in a medium. What she tells them changes everything. Long before their apartment complex was ever built, that land held a private home. And in that home, she says, lived a little girl, 7 years old, named Annabelle Higgins. The girl died on that property, and her spirit, the medium claims, never left.
When the doll arrived, the story goes, the child's spirit moved into it, drawn to two young women who seemed kind, safe, and willing to listen. All she wanted, supposedly, was to stay. Moved by sympathy, Donna and Angie agree to let her remain. It is, without question, the worst decision either of them will ever make. From that point forward, Lou can't stop dreaming about the doll. Night after night, the same nightmare. Annabelle crawling up his body while he lies frozen, unable to move, unable to scream, her hands finally closing around his throat. He wakes up certain every single time that it wasn't a dream at all. Then it stops being just a nightmare. One evening, Lou and Angie are alone in the apartment when they hear footsteps in Donna's room. Someone or something is in there. Lou, convinced it's an intruder, edges toward the door and throws it open.
Nothing. No one. Except the doll. She was on the bed an hour ago. Now she's sitting upright in the corner, watching the door. Lou steps closer to move her back and feels it. That prickling sensation on the back of your neck when you know, absolutely know, someone is staring at you. He spins around. Empty room. Then the pain hits, sharp, sudden, right across his chest. He looks down at his shirt and finds claw marks slashed through the fabric and through his skin. He knows exactly what did it. Stranger still, the wounds heal almost instantly. Within 2 days, they're completely gone. No scarring, no trace, nothing a doctor could explain. That's when they stop looking for a logical explanation and start looking for help. A local priest, hearing their story, brings in 2 names that would go on to define American paranormal investigation for the next 5 decades: Ed and Lorraine Warren. It doesn't take the Warrens long to reach a verdict, and it's worse than a ghost. There was no little girl. There never was. What had been living in that apartment, feeding off fear and manipulating 3 young adults for months, was something inhuman. A demon, one that had used the sad little spirit story as a mask, because a demon can't hold a human soul inside an object forever. It needs something living. It was never trying to stay in the doll. It was trying to get to Donna. The priest performs an exorcism on the apartment. The Warrens take the doll. They deliberately avoid the highway on the drive home. Ed later says he was afraid of what a demon might do to a car, moving at 65 miles an hour. He wasn't being paranoid. The engine stalls without warning. The power steering cuts out. The brakes fail more than once. Ed finally pulls the bag open and douses the doll in holy water. The car settles. The road home continues without incident. Back at the Warrens' home, Annabelle is placed near Ed's desk and immediately begins to levitate. For a couple of weeks, it seems dormant. Then it starts again, appearing in rooms it has no business being in, moving without anyone touching it. A second priest is brought in to bless the doll. He doesn't take the warning seriously. "It's just a doll," he says. He performs the blessing anyway. On his drive home, his brakes fail completely. He survives the crash. Barely. That's the last time anyone underestimates Annabelle. Today, Annabelle sits behind reinforced glass in a locked case inside the Warrens Occult Museum, marked with a warning no one is supposed to test. She hasn't moved an inch in decades, but according to the people who've spent the most time around that case, that's exactly the problem. She's not resting. She's waiting for the seal to weaken, for someone to open the case just to look, for the one moment someone forgets the rule that's kept her contained for 50 years. If you clicked on this video, you already know how this story ends in the movies. What almost nobody knows is how it's supposed to end in real life, and no one wants to be the one who finds out.